Yeah, you read the title right. Yeah, Sony and PlayStation is creating an all-digital prison, and I'm not even exaggerating. They really are. I understand that might sound really extreme, but if you pay attention to what they are doing, they really are. Now, you guys, I usually do quick gaming news on this channel since I started this channel right here in particular, but this video right here, not really news, because I'm sure a lot of y'all already know what's going on with the whole Sony PlayStation thing, with them trying to take away physical media and them ignoring the fans and all like that. Now, first, I want to start off, why am I calling what they're doing an all-digital prison for gamers? Now, what Sony is doing, right, which, by the way, everyone do have a choice to walk away, but for some people, it's just not that easy. It's just not that fucking easy at all, because let's think about it, right? What Sony is banking on is the fact that a lot of people play on the PS5. Like, I think they sold over 90 million units of the PS5, and a lot of people have a large library of games. Some people date all the way back to the PS3, and they like, okay, there's no way that they're gonna leave our ecosystem because they have a lot of games, maybe games they got from Plus, games they bought over the years, especially when you spend a lot of money on a console. They're like, okay, they're not going to leave. So what we can do is that we could create a PS6 to where it's gonna be all digital and you cannot buy no physical games whatsoever. And with them making the PS6 all digital and you have no physical games, you know, to buy at all, to where when you buy a game, like let's say NBA 2K for example, you can't go to GameStop and trade it in. When you buy it, you stuck with it. That's it. Like, and the refund policy is trash too, because when you buy a game, as soon as you start it, guess what? You cannot refund it. You cannot return it. Unlike on Steam, for example, on PC, guess what? When you buy a game, you play it for about close to 2 hours, you can refund it if there's issues or you don't like it or whatever it may be. But they don't even got that. Then on top of that, to make it even worse, they have something called dynamic pricing. What is that? That is to where they could go ahead and do this. They can charge you a certain amount for a game, like when the game quote unquote goes on sale, and they be like, well, this customer don't really spend money on our ecosystem, so let's go ahead and give them a discount on this game right here in particular. I use Astrobuy for example, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm using that for an example in a bit. But you know, Astrobuy, okay, look, they don't really buy that many games, so let's go ahead and see if we can sell it to them for $20 and they'll buy it. But meanwhile, the person that spent buku money on PlayStation, they're not gonna give them no deal. They probably will keep it like at $50, $60, $70, however much it'll cost, because guess what? They know that you're gonna spend a lot of money, so they're not gonna really give you deals like that. Then it's already bad enough that they charge you to play online. Like, I'm using PC again. Guess what? On PC, you do not pay to play online. Like, when you play a game on Steam, you don't do that, so they charge you to pay online. Their subscription prices keep going up right along with the console and all like that as well. Like with the PS5, the PS6 looks like it'll be over $1,000. And then to make matters even worse, when you buy a game, you don't actually own the game. You only own a fucking license, to where a revocable license, by the way, to where they could take the game away from you if at any time that they want. Like, you buy, like, literally you buying a revocable license to where they can take the game away from you at any time because you don't own the game, which that's a whole nother issue in itself, you know, with us actually having rights to our digital games on PlayStation. Because really, honestly and truly, it should be like how it work on PC. You buy a game, you download it, it's your game. If Steam goes down, you can still play that game. On PlayStation, as y'all probably seen with the whole network situation, when the network cuts off, when PlayStation network goes down, guess what? You cannot access your games. You cannot access your digital games, and some physical games you can't access that either. And now guess what? You have no choice but to sit there and wait at the mercy of PlayStation basically to see, okay, when can I go back and play my game? And that's a problem. And then on top of that, if you stay off your account for so long, because now they got it to where I think it's like 3 years, if you stay away from your PlayStation account, they could delete your account even though you pay money for the games you have on your game system, which is insane. And also, as of now, because with all that I just stated, because that's really the prison right there, because they eventually believe that, okay, we're gonna have a whole bunch of people locked into our ecosystem, and guess what? You only gonna have one option, one store you can buy from, and that gonna be the PlayStation Store. You can't buy from nowhere else, just the PlayStation Store. Even if you go buy the fucking code in the box, guess what? It's going straight to the PlayStation Store. And then when you look at what PlayStation doing, ignoring people on Twitter, they basically just said fuck the players, because they also was like, well, hey, we gonna go ahead and just move on forward. We don't care about how y'all feel. When they went ahead and responded, the CFO, which by the way, that's a chief financial officer. You have the person that their job, all they do is care about money, speaking on the behalf of PlayStation. The person that job to focus on money, speaking about PlayStation, about physical media, because y'all don't care. Y'all are full of greed at this point, is like, we know that it's about money, but even worse is more about control. They want to control the market to where they be like, okay, we got to squeeze every last dollar out of your pocket until we take all your money, because we got that much greed to where we want to go ahead and take advantage of our players, which is, I ain't gonna lie, like what PlayStation been doing as of late is one of the worst moves and one of the worst anti-consumer moves that I've seen in gaming. And I think a lot of people can also agree with that as well. But yes, Sony created an all-digital prison for their gamers because they truly believe that, guess what, we got y'all on lock and y'all not going nowhere. But what they don't understand is that people can walk away. Some people don't understand it. Some people can actually walk away. Well, not really some people, really everybody can walk away if they want to. But I understand that a lot of people spend a lot of money, so they're not really, you know, too quickly to be like, okay, I'm gonna just leave PlayStation and go to PC, Xbox, Nintendo, or whatever. But I will say this, the smart move, if you do want to walk away, is to do this. All you have to do is make the PS5 your last game system. Don't buy nothing new after that. For the PS5, you want to buy physical media or whatever for PS5 to support physical media, cool. But after that, just don't spend no money. Don't buy the PS6. Don't buy no games on and all on there. If you do buy PS6, buy it used. Just buy a used PS6 to where it's like, okay, well, at least I'm not giving Sony money. And if you do buy something on the PS6, okay, hey, fine, whatever. You know, a game here or there, whatever. But if you go ahead and you switch over to another platform, that'd be the best move at this point, because Sony just don't give two fucks about their player base. They really have it on their mind that, hey, you know what, we can really pimp out our players to go ahead and get all this money out of them, and we want to control them. We want to have full control over what they play, how they spend. We got control of their account. We could shut down your account at any time. And then to make matters even worse, because they're using fake numbers, basically inflated numbers, that's why I'm gonna call it inflated numbers, to go ahead and be like, well, we using this to say this is why digital is good, because we got the tariff refund. Hey, look, we was profitable. You got a tariff refund. Of course that's more money, but that don't mean people spending more money on digital. Then on top of that, artificial scarcity, a thing that I've been saying so far, is that you making it to where you're not sending out that many physical copies of these games. You making it to where people have to buy digital. Then as well, on top of that, they're going to use GTA 6 to go ahead and show, hey, look, this right here proves that people want digital games over physical games when there's no fucking physical version of GTA. There's no physical version of GTA. And that's what they're going to do. And this is evil what Sony is doing. It is really bad. But like I said, they created an all-digital prison for their gamers, and people just don't see it. I understand what I'm saying, it might be extreme, but just like how Sony don't care when it comes to their players ignoring us and all that other stuff about, you know, the problems and all that we have, I don't care, because what I'm saying is something that I see, and this is what I really think it is. I really believe that they created an all-digital prison for their gamers. I know for me, I'm about to make a big shift towards PC gaming. I got a gaming PC, but I want a better one. And really, that's about it. If I ever get a PS6, hey, that thing gonna be used. I'm not buying it brand new. Screw that. But you guys, I want y'all to comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about this. I really want to hear y'all thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share the video, and also subscribe if you want more quick gaming news or even videos like this. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Shade, and I am out.